God's chosen one. 5. Unmistakable signs. You're the person. What if I told you that the universe has already chosen your perfect match, and they're closer than you think? Tonight, we're unveiling 5 mystical signs that confirm when the divine has finally sent you the one destined to walk beside you through eternity. But here's what most people don't realize. The signs aren't what you'd expect. There's an ancient truth that whispers through the fabric of existence. A truth that every awakened soul eventually discovers. Your love story was written in the stars long before you took your first breath on this earthly plane. You see, as a chosen one, your path through life follows a different rhythm than ordinary souls. Every heartbreak you've endured, every lonely night you've questioned the universe, every moment of solitude that felt like punishment. It was all preparation. The divine was sculpting your heart, refining your spirit, preparing you to recognize true sacred love when it finally appears. But here's where most people get lost. They mistake attraction for alignment. They confuse chemistry for cosmic connection. They settle for human love when they were destined for divine love. The difference? Human love fades with circumstances. Divine love transcends dimensions. If these words are stirring something deep within your soul, if you feel the universe has guided you to this exact moment to hear this message, type "Awakened" in the comments below. This isn't just engagement. It's your signal to the cosmos that you're ready to receive divine guidance about your sacred union. The mystical framework. Before we reveal these 5 sacred signs, you must understand something profound about how the universe operates. Love, true love, is not random. It's not a cosmic accident or a stroke of luck. It's orchestrated by forces beyond our physical understanding. Every soul enters this realm with what mystics call a soul contract, a pre-written agreement about who they will meet, what they will learn, and how they will grow. Your divine partner? They signed the same contract. They chose you before either of you had names, before either of you had faces. But the material world is full of illusions, distractions, and what spiritual teachers call false lights. These are connections that seem right, feel intense, but ultimately lead you away from your true path. The enemy of your soul knows exactly how to package a counterfeit that looks like your divine match. That's why tonight's revelation is so crucial. These 5 signs act as a spiritual compass, guiding you through the maze of human connection toward your predetermined destiny. Sign 1. The peace that defies logic. The first sign is perhaps the most mysterious and the most misunderstood. When the universe delivers your sacred partner, your nervous system recognizes them before your mind does. There's a supernatural peace that settles over your being. Not the temporary calm that comes from good news or pleasant circumstances, but a deep cellular knowing that transcends understanding. This peace doesn't make logical sense. Maybe they live in a different city. Maybe the timing seems impossible. Maybe your logical mind lists a dozen reasons why it shouldn't work. But your soul is quiet, settled, home. I remember speaking with a woman who described meeting her divine partner at the worst possible time in her life. She was going through a divorce, dealing with financial crisis, and her world was crumbling. Yet the moment she met him, she said it was like the universe exhaled. Every storm inside her stilled. This isn't the anxious excitement of infatuation. This isn't the adrenaline of new romance. This is something deeper, older, more ancient. It's your soul recognizing its missing half. But here's the warning. False connections create the opposite effect. With the wrong person, even when everything looks perfect on paper, there's always an underlying tension, a whisper of something isn't right. Your intuition keeps sending alarm signals that your desperate heart tries to ignore. The universe never lies to you. Your peace, or lack thereof, is always telling the truth. Sign 2. Purpose amplification. The second sign reveals itself through your mission in this lifetime. As an awakened soul, you didn't come to this earth plane to live an ordinary existence. You carry ancient wisdom, divine gifts, and a sacred purpose that most people can't comprehend. Your very presence shifts energy in rooms. Your words carry weight that transcends their literal meaning. When the divine sends your sacred partner, something extraordinary happens to your spiritual mission. It doesn't diminish, it magnifies. They don't make you feel like you need to hide your light or tone down your gifts. Instead, their presence acts like a spiritual amplifier. Suddenly, your intuition becomes sharper. Your connection to higher realms deepens. Your ability to channel divine wisdom flows more freely. This person doesn't just love you. They revere the sacred work you've been called to do. They understand that your relationship serves a purpose greater than personal happiness. Together, you become a spiritual power couple, capable of shifting consciousness and awakening others. I've witnessed this phenomenon countless times. Sacred partners often find that their individual gifts create a synergy that multiplies their impact on the world. One might be a natural healer, while the other channels divine messages. One might have the gift of prophecy, while the other carries the energy of divine protection. But with the wrong person, your spiritual gifts feel suppressed. Your mission feels heavy. They either don't understand your calling or actively discourage it. They make you question your own spiritual experiences or belittle your connection to the divine. Remember this truth: your sacred partner should make you more of who you're meant to be, not less. If you're beginning to see how these signs are revealing truth about your own love journey, this is just the beginning. Subscribe to the Light of Wisdom and ring that notification bell, because we're diving deeper into the mysteries of divine love and sacred relationships. Your awakening depends on staying connected to this wisdom. Sign 3. Divine confirmation through sacred channels. The third sign is perhaps the most supernatural and the most undeniable. The universe has many ways of speaking to its chosen ones, through dreams that feel more real than waking life, through synchronicities that are too perfect to be coincidence, through ancient texts that seem to speak directly to your situation, through the voices of spiritually mature guides who see what your heart might be too clouded to recognize. When your sacred partner appears, the divine doesn't leave you guessing. Confirmation comes through multiple channels, creating what mystics call the web of knowing. You might dream of them before you meet. You might see repeating number sequences, 1111, 222, 555, at moments connected to them. Ancient wisdom from scripture or spiritual texts might seem to leap off the page, directly addressing your situation. Spiritually mature mentors in your life might receive independent revelations about this connection. I knew a man who prayed for 3 months about a woman he'd met. On the last day of his fast, he opened his Bible randomly and found a passage about Isaac and Rebekah, a love story ordained by God where the woman was specifically chosen before they met. That same day, the woman called him and shared a dream she'd had where she saw their wedding. The universe is never subtle when it's confirming divine appointments. But here's the crucial distinction. False connections create spiritual static. When you pray about the wrong person, the silence is deafening. The confirmation you seek never comes with clarity. Instead, you get confusion, mixed signals, or what feels like spiritual interference. Your spiritual mentors express concerns. Your dreams about them feel dark or chaotic. Synchronicities, if they happen at all, carry warning energy rather than blessing energy. The divine speaks clearly to those who listen. The question is, are you brave enough to hear what you're being told? Sign 4. The manifestation of sacred love qualities. The fourth sign reveals itself through the very nature of how this person loves you. There's an ancient text that describes divine love. It is patient. It is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. When your sacred partner arrives, their love mirrors this divine template. Not because they're perfect, no human is, but because their soul is aligned with higher frequencies of love. You'll notice their patience with your healing process. They don't rush you past your triggers or demand you be over your past traumas. They hold sacred space for your growth, understanding that becoming whole is a journey, not a destination. Their kindness isn't performative or conditional. It flows from a genuine desire to nurture your spirit. Even in disagreements, and sacred relationships do have conflicts, there's an underlying gentleness that preserves dignity for both of you. They don't compete with you or feel threatened by your success. Your victories become their celebrations. Your gifts inspire them rather than intimidate them. They want to see you shine at your brightest because they understand that dimming you would dim the world. Most powerfully, even when you hurt each other, because humans do hurt each other, they choose reconciliation over retaliation. They fight for the relationship, not against you personally. This stands in stark contrast to false connections, where love feels conditional, manipulative, or draining, where conflicts become character assassinations, where your success threatens their ego, where forgiveness is weaponized and past mistakes become ammunition for future fights. Sacred love heals. Toxic love wounds. The difference is always evident to those with spiritual eyes to see. Sign 5. Supernatural endurance through trials. The final sign is, perhaps, the most telling and the most challenging to understand. Here's a mystical truth that shocks most people. Divine relationships are often tested more intensely than casual connections. Why? Because the forces that oppose light, love, and spiritual evolution recognize the threat that sacred unions pose to darkness in this world. When two spiritually awakened souls join forces, their combined light can shift entire spiritual atmospheres. They can break generational curses, heal family lines, and birth children who carry advanced spiritual DNA. The enemy of human souls will try to prevent these unions from forming or destroy them once they exist. But here's the miraculous part. Sacred love grows stronger under pressure rather than weaker. When external trials come, financial hardship, family opposition, health crises, misunderstandings, your divine partner doesn't run. They don't abandon ship when the storm gets rough. Instead, something supernatural happens. You discover you're stronger together than either of you could be alone. The trials become refining fires that burn away everything that doesn't serve your highest good. The pressure creates spiritual diamonds. What was meant to destroy you instead transforms you into a more powerful force for divine love in the world. I've watched sacred couples navigate betrayals, financial ruin, serious illness, and family rejection, and emerge with a love so radiant it literally changes the people around them. The very trials that would destroy ordinary relationships become the foundation stones of extraordinary ones. But false connections crumble under the slightest pressure. When real tests come, the person reveals they were never truly committed to your highest good. They were there for the benefits, the feelings, the temporary pleasures, but not for the sacred work of building something eternal. The universe has revealed these 5 sacred signs to you tonight for a reason. You're being prepared for divine love. Whether that means recognizing it when it appears or releasing what isn't meant for your highest good. Subscribe to the Light of Wisdom for more revelations about your spiritual journey, and remember to type "Awakened" if these truths are resonating with your soul. Closing. Your Divine Love Destiny. Chosen One, as we close this sacred transmission, I want you to understand something profound about your love destiny. Your divine partner isn't just someone you're meant to marry. They're someone you're meant to evolve with across multiple dimensions of existence. This connection transcends this lifetime. You've loved before in other realms, other timelines, other expressions of your eternal soul. That's why the recognition feels so deep when it finally happens. That's why the peace surpasses understanding. That's why the trials can't break what the universe has joined together. But timing, divine timing, is everything. Sometimes the universe reveals your sacred partner before the season is ready for union. Sometimes years of preparation are required before two souls can successfully merge their earthly lives. Sometimes what feels like delay is actually divine protection, ensuring both of you are ready for the intensity of sacred love. So if you're still waiting, don't lose faith. Every day of preparation is making you more ready for what's coming. Every lesson learned in solitude is making you more capable of loving at divine frequencies. And if you're currently in a connection, use these 5 signs as your spiritual compass. Let them guide you toward truth, whatever that truth might be. Because settling for less than divine love isn't just bad for you, it's blocking your sacred partner from finding you. The universe has written an epic love story with your name on it. Trust the divine author to turn the pages at exactly the right moment. Until next time, keep your heart open, your spirit discerning, and your faith unshakable. Your divine love story is closer than you think.